Recently I've been getting into Taylor Swift's music a lot, and uh, I have listened to almost all the albums that she has released till now. And there was a song on this new album called Midnight. The song was called Vigilante Shit, which always sounded a lot to me like songs from her Reputation album. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a poster for Vigilante Shit, but aesthetically, it will look like a song from Reputation, or how the song makes me feel when I listen to it. I'm actually quite proud of how it came out, because the poster that I made is very accurate to how the song actually feels like. At this moment, I'm basically trying out different fonts and see what fits to the texts, and this goes on for a long time. So I'm just gonna fast forward it, and if you want, you can watch it, or you could skip it if you want. Now, what I'm doing here is something I discovered in a YouTube video, which is an effect that you can do on your uh, text, but unfortunately, I could not get it to do that, because whenever I did that effect, uh, the background went to shit, and the text changes colors. So I could never do that, and I spent maybe like 30 minutes at the least trying to make it work. I tried rewatching the video again and again, but it never worked. But now what I'm doing is that I found this picture on Pinterest of Taylor, and it looked like it's from Reputation time period. So I'm going to cut that picture out, just like I just did right now, and I'm going to put it over on top of the text, because that's an effect that I really like. But as you can see right now, I'm really struggling with one problem here, which is that the edges of the picture are too straight and it looks weird. So I basically gave up on that for a whole day, and this is actually day 2 right now. I'm opening up Photoshop again, and I opened the file again and tried to do it again, and this goes on for a long time. Now you might be wondering how why I'm struggling with all of that, and this is because, as I said in the beginning of the video, I'm still learning graphic design, and this is my process. I'm sharing my process with the world right now, and it may not be perfect and everything, and I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. And this is the whole point of these videos. I want to show my progress. I want to show how I learn things, and how I achieve different effects while I'm learning. So keep in mind that none of this is a tutorial on how to do it. If you want to see how I do it as a tutorial, then fine, great. If you are learning something from my video, that's great. But this is not an educational video. This is more of me sharing my progress with all of you. So hopefully you enjoy the process. Now, right here, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to invert the entire picture by making the background black and the text white to see if maybe that will change anything, but it did not. And as you can see, I actually also tried to ask Google for help, but as usual, Google was not helping me right now. And now that I think about it, I realize that maybe it was because I did not select the background and the text and make them into a smart object. Maybe that was the issue. And as you can see right now, I'm no longer working on the text. I'm actually just I moved on from that, and I just try to do something with the picture itself and see how I can get rid of the sharp edges and like try to do some sort of effect on it, and that was also not working. Now, after doing a whole lot of nothing, I went on Pinterest and tried to find another picture that was as good as this one. But unfortunately, I could not find any other picture that was just as good. This one that I just showed you, this felt like it could work, but then I gave up and I just tried to do it with this picture. And actually, I will put on screen the actual picture that I wanted to use before I searched on Pinterest, and it was the one from Midnights. But again, I found this picture to be the better one, and I was right actually. And I'm still working on the cutout version, and I'm getting close to the kind of effect I wanted, which is just me playing with color fills and uh, different blending modes. And now I'm trying to put a shadow behind her because I wanted to create some depth, but I was not able to create a good shadow that worked really well or made it look very realistic. So I abandoned that idea as well, actually. Now I decided that maybe I should just work with a single frame picture without a cutout, and as you can see, this is actually closer to what the final result was. So we're getting close to what my actual final result came out as. And this is kind of a process that I've discovered about myself, which is that I normally don't have a proper complete idea of what the design will be like. I have a rough idea as I did for this one, but most of the time I just want to create something with an aesthetic that I know. I know what type of aesthetic I wanted. I wanted a very grungy look, a very raw, rough type of image with like a poster from the 80s or 70s. And I think I kind of achieved it. And right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see which version is better. Is the cutout version of the photo is better, or is the full photo better? And I'm still trying to make the cutout version work because I really like cutouts. But uh, let's see which one wins in the end. So at the end, I decided that I will just work on the frame, the actual frame of the picture without a cutout. My brother liked the cutout version, but I liked that one, so I went with that. And now I'm trying to find the font for the repetition text, and I tried to see if I had one like that, and I didn't. So I went on Google and I tried to find the actual font because that's what this album reminds me of. That's what this song reminds me of. It reminds me of that album. So I downloaded it, I checked it, and as you can see, it's completely unreadable. So I went against that and I actually tried to see if it really is that font, and I tried to write repetition, and yes, it looked exactly like it does on the repetition album, but apparently it doesn't work for this exact title. So I changed it and I just found the older one that I was working with, and I went along with that. Now I also like to play around with the lyrics. Uh, I like to play around with different aspect of the song, and I want those to be represented in the actual design. So I really like that line, don't get sad, get even. So I try to incorporate that into the design, and now right now I'm just trying to find different placements to see where something fits or not, which color works best and which color doesn't. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And right now I'm trying to get clever by uh, making don't get sad in the corner and then get even in a proper even angle to make the point clearer. And as you can see, don't get sad on the corner is not even, which is ironic, but this took me about 10 minutes to figure it out. And my brother was actually recommending that I just leave it. It's a very small detail, nobody's gonna notice. But I knew that if I saw that on a design, I would notice. So I was trying very hard to make it work. And in the end, I just did something. I don't know what I did, but it worked. I got it to the right angle. Uh, right now, I'm trying to incorporate the word repetition in in there somewhere, and I very quickly realized that this song was not in repetition, which I always forget that it's a song from Midnight. So instead of writing repetition, I just wrote Taylor Swift, which I also think looks really good in that font. And now I'm just gonna try different placements to see where it works best or not. I also tried these red borders on the side, and yeah, that that was a mistake because I quickly realized that those borders were way too bright, and I just did not have the energy to change the color of each block individually. Maybe there is a way to do that in Photoshop, but at the moment I didn't know, and I just did not want to waste any more time. So I very quickly am gonna abandon uh, this idea as well, actually. And now I actually we are getting very close to the final version. I I wanted to put the word Taylor Swift inside the actual picture because I think the black picture with a red font in front looked really cool, very dynamic, but it just wasn't working. So I just put it on top, and now I'm trying to see if I can like make a repetition of the word Taylor Swift, which also didn't really work for me personally. So I went against that as well, which is another idea I scrapped. And now this is where I actually came up with the final composition of the entire design. And now I'm just gonna do some placements and different textures. So I'm just gonna fast forward all of that. And this was the final result. If you liked it, then please leave a like, comment, and share this video with others.